Welcome back to another Severance Season 2 video. You got Dan, Billy, Jules, and Xander here. We're ready to talk some Severance, especially after that last episode with everything we learned about Gemma. So you're going to hear a lot about Gemma. I feel like it needs more unpacking. Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
You got to
Yes, absolutely.
take that in some more. Most of these comments are about Gemma, a couple Burt things and some other things to throw in there as well. But yeah, I really want to talk more about Gemma and what's going on with that whole situation because we just saw the testing floor and everything that goes down on the testing floor. So you got to talk about it, right? All right. So this first one's not a theory, more so as an observation. I just rewatched the episode before we started recording because someone pointed out something specific in the episode and I wanted to make sure that I saw it. But this one I thought was just a fun little thing. Jules.
Okay, this is from Elsa Mari Zero. The first words Mark said to Gemma and Helly were the same. Who are you?
If you want to be technical, they did talk for a little bit before he said, "Who are you?"
What do you got there? Sorry, what do you got there?
But yeah, I love the nod of that where Helly's laying face down on the table and he says that to her. And he also says it to Gemma.
I'm sorry, who are you?
Gemma.
Which some people in this theory video still think she might be evil and she might be in on it. So we'll break it down. We'll see what we have to say. But this next one in our episode 7 review, Xander said something along the lines that went with this comment. So I thought he'd like to read it.
You know it. This one is from Lydia Lydia Lomely 4273. I would really like to know how they have access to Gemma's memories, like the night she left and she had to come back and tell him I love you. How would Dr. Maurer have access to that, or that she hates writing thank you notes? Sure, she could have told them, but I love you is quite personal.
I said, I love you.
I said.
Oh, no, I love you too, and I'm sorry.
Okay, now you said that the scenes that we saw in the past of Mark and Gemma was Mark reintegrating, and that was his memories that we were seeing on screen, right? Remember, remember saying that? So how do they know that to do that stuff to her on the testing floor? Do you have any guesses? Because that is a great question.
I mean, I think, frankly, obviously, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comments about, the different iterations, the different rooms she has to go through, how she's severed that many times, which is a crazy revelation to find out that you can be severed that many times, like a goddamn Horcrux. But
yeah,
where my head goes with that is that obviously the allure to Mark was that you can forget what happened to your wife. You can lose the grief. And I think what they did for Gemma, and I think this may come to be revealed, is that they allowed her to forget about the miscarriage. Because he said at the end, just as Kier has taken away yours, that means that they did something for her. And I think it's that she...
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty obvious. I think that the whole point of them these people going there is to get rid of this trauma. And, as far as we're aware, that's the biggest trauma that she's dealing with. So,
yeah. And when we were talking about it, Xander was the one that brought it up that she was, severed multiple, like each room was a different severance
100%.
Personality.
Yeah.
And when I rewatched the episode, the line that Drummond says,
"Are the severance barriers holding?"
Yes, the technology is working. I think that's what he was talking about when he said that line.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
100%.
So that was like, when I rewatched it, I was like, oh shit, that's when they say it. Okay, cool. It's really cool how they do that too, but it's really brutal for that version of her innie to be always in the dentist or always in a plane crash.
Oh my God, dude, right?
Writing the cards with her left hand when she clearly is a righty. You can tell she's struggling to write with her left hand. Why are they doing this? They're torturing
I wonder
her.
what that's about. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, it's weird, man.
The way that they're going here too, and obviously I can't prove this. I mean, obviously she was different iterations of different women, different scenarios. Makes me start to think that like maybe they're trying to restore more than just the one Eagan. Like maybe they're trying to bring some of the female Eagans back, right? Or they seem very specific roles, right? As in these women that she's being severed into are based upon real people, right? And that's the vibe I got. It seemed way too random of scenarios to just be random scenarios. I don't know. That's the vibe I took from it, but maybe I'm just stretching there.
No, I think I would agree with that. We were talking in the last video. I do think that it's her reenacting traumatic memories. I would assume hers, but it very well could be other people that are, have been severed or, like you said, or they're trying to kind of bring back.
They have to do something that's somehow going to have Mark be able to finish. Now that he's reintegrated, I think as it stands, it's impossible almost for him to finish Cold Harbor, right? So there's going to have to be something, I feel like, involving her as whether a pawn or getting her to turn.
I wonder if like Audi Gemma is going to have to finish it.
He finished with Helly.
I mean, he's going to find out that she's preggers by the end of this season. That is, I don't see how you get to that weight.
Yeah, it's happening. We're getting a severed kid. All right, what's up next?
Nope.
We're getting it. Tarzan.
Baby.
I refuse.
At sum 4898. Theory 2. Cold Harbor has to be linked to Kier in some way. Apparently, the world will change, and it seems to be the most important thing to Lumen. So either Gemma will carry Mark and Helena's baby with Kier's consciousness. Something to do with bringing someone back from the dead. Side note, Cobell is also interested in Cold Harbor, and she has that breathing tube with her, which I assume is her mother, ? Maybe Cold Harbor is sacrificing one person to bring back someone else. I don't know. Just happy to have gotten some answers in the last episode.
Definitely got some answers, but also more questions. Yeah, what do you think about this one, guys?
I hate the idea of Helena having a baby that has Kier's consciousness.
Oh God, me too. I don't like that.
It just like birthing basically a fully grown human in a baby's body. No, thank you. Like real life boss baby, not my thing.
I wonder if it's going to be the idea. I know this is more just like an operational question here, but would the baby be born with the consciousness, or would they birth a normal consciousness child and then they would say permanently sever the baby? Like they give it right off the bat.
I would hope so. And like maybe like wait until he's a little older.
No, I would the opposite. I hope the kid has it before he gets bored. If not, they're sticking a pill in that baby's head.
Oh God, yeah.
No, I'd rather they like let this kid grow up and then sever him and make a severed self.
Yeah, they're not
gonna do that.
I know, but like it still just freaks me out, the idea of like a big man baby, which I mean
there is definitely, now that you're saying it, there's a definite theme of babies throughout this show. Like you have Devon and Ricken, they have a baby. You have that pregnant lady in the park that Devon
Senator's wife.
Yeah. Yep. So I could see maybe, like they're birthing babies that are severed from birth, or like severed at birth, I guess. And that's how they're putting consciousness into people.
I like it. And Devon brought up the birthing retreat, and here's the official title of it.
Demona Birthing Retreat.
But yeah, so they brought that up again. I hope they go through with that plan. I hope Devon meets up with Cobell. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah,
I miss Cobell. I want to see what she's doing, what she's up to.
Like her meeting up with her after the whole Mrs. Selvig thing got blown up, and now she's going to be like, hey, I know you were full of shit, but I need your help. I think that'd be really interesting TV. I hope we get
Devon's sus.
Oh, you don't like Devon?
Sister sus, dude. You can't tell me that she's
sus.
Why do you
think she's
sus? I'm not saying that she's evil, like that she's in with Lumen, but something she ain't telling.
There is one thing that kind of rang a bell for me, and I don't know if it was the context that I didn't understand, but when she's arguing with Ragabi in the house, she says something along the lines of like, you can't do this again. She ends a line with again in a moment where I was like, wait, has this happened before? So Billy might be onto something. Maybe she knows what happened with Gemma.
I didn't catch that.
Maybe she knows what happened, but she seemed shocked to know Gemma was alive.
Yeah, maybe because she didn't think she'd live through whatever Lumen was doing.
Got it. All right.
I wonder if that would pair with the theory that Ricken is in on Lumen stuff too.
Yeah.
Ricken's just a severed baby.
Everybody in Mark's life is actually in on Lumen stuff.
Ricken wouldn't surprise me to see like an eventual, it's a wrestling term, a heel turn here, where he's just been playing this goofball, aloof idiot the whole time, but he's known exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, we've had people comment that he's the board, that Ricken's the board.
Oh, that'd be wild.
That he's an Eagan.
Yeah.
That'd be really funny, honestly.
Next up is from Josh C9453. Dr. Mauer's entire demeanor reminds me of Burt. Could he be Burt's Lumen partner that Fields mentioned? Was Burt his colleague down on the testing floor in the early days of the Severance chip? Now, some Burt stuff I had to throw in here. What do you guys think about this? You think Dr. Mauer and Burt could have been teammates back in the day? Possible.
I think Burt worked on the severed floor for sure. Or not the severed floor, the testing floor for sure.
Yeah. I'm with it.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that.
I'm with it. And do you think, all right, so there were people that were theorizing that Burt was following Irv to get Irv to notice, to ask him over for dinner so that Drummond could go break into his apartment and rummage through his shit. So do you think that Burt is doing all this for Drummond because Burt has knowledge of the testing floor, maybe has knowledge of Gemma?
Could be.
I'm still convinced that like Burt and Burt's husband have known Irv for a long time. Irv's gotten wiped, whether it's once or multiple times. And
Definitely. He has been. Why else would he see
and
that?
they haven't, and they weren't. And so they remember I'm convinced they remember all the history. And the same thing, I would love to see something at some point, one of the seasons of them back even in their like 40s or 50s, those guys, right? Just to see like early Lumen would be sick.
Yeah.
It makes no other sense in my brain. How else would Irving paint the elevator to the testing floor if he hasn't seen it before? How else would that come into his mind? He's definitely been wiped. I'm positive about that.
Definitely, yeah.
You're saying that? It makes me think like, they're doing this process with Gemma, right? And it seems like this is going to be the one that takes, but like maybe like they've tried this on a lot of other people before and it hasn't taken, right? Like maybe Irv was one of the subjects and he got
I was gonna say maybe Irv was Gemma before.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe he was one of the Gemmas.
Interesting.
It could be this is the first time they're trying it with the whole Mark and Gemma angle of it. Like we're gonna have someone who loves them participate in this thinking they're dead.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It could be the first time they're trying like a direct connection to try and get Cold Harbor to work.
I'm with it for sure.
All right, this is from Jean Mount. That doctor guy was at the IVF clinic and was eyeing Gemma. It was quick, but it definitely happened. So I guess she was being targeted.
Okay. I've rewatched this scene 15 times. I'm going to put the frame up right now. Do you guys think this is Dr. Maurer? I couldn't tell. My wife said yes. I am not certain. It does kind of look like him, but it's so quick that even in the screenshot, even in this still you're looking at right now, you're going to be like, maybe, I don't know. But he does make direct eye contact with her. He looks right at her as if, oh, that's the one. I'm going to go after her. And then she gets the stuff in the mail. So it does track.
Was this when she went to the clinic? I don't remember. Was that pre or post miscarriage?
Post.
I feel like that had to have been why. How they would have known about that, I don't know.
Right.
But
Lumen caused the miscarriage.
Oh god.
I was literally thinking that. I shit you not.
It going that deep.
I could 100% see them doing some sick shit like that.
Yeah.
And they targeted this couple for that long. So she was a direct target. Yeah. So,
yeah.
All right. The next one goes even further into this. So if you're feeling juicy now, get ready for this one.
At Marshall Clicks Photography. All right, hear me out. This might be a little crazy. Why was she sitting right next to Mark at the blood drive? He looks a bit confused by it. Her gaze lingers on him to make him ask her who she is, I think. He took the bait. And before she answers, she hesitates, drops her gaze, and outstretched her hands as if she wasn't sure if she wanted to. Maybe Mark has always been a target for
Lumen.
Lumen, I guess.
I'm gonna fill it in. Yeah.
And then we have a second part from Felicia, who is also a member, both members. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, I noticed this. Right away, I felt like she was lying when she said her name. Could her real name be Hannah, like Helena said in the restaurant?
So it goes even further now. We're going more down the rabbit hole. Are you buying this at all? Yes or no?
I think prior to this episode, I definitely could. I just have a hard time believing they dedicated a whole episode to showing her this like crazy backstory for her to just be in on letting them do that to her that much. It's like a little bit too much of a stretch for me for her to willingly go through all that. But again, there are crazy people in this show.
Yeah. I don't know that they would go that deep into it. I think her calling her Hannah in the restaurant was just kind of like a
jab.
Yeah, kind of, I guess.
I felt like her calling her Hannah was her trying to distance herself to not seem like she knew way too much about Mark in the restaurant. Like, I just happened to run into
that makes way more
Hannah,
sense,
right? Yeah. Also, I think I'd believe the Gemma's bad theory more if she didn't try to escape and then like crumple into a ball saying Mark.
Mark's name.
Right.
That's true.
And they did such a good job of visually telling you like these two are in love. And it would be really weird to throw all of that away and be like, yeah, remember that really beautiful episode? It was all a ruse. We got you.
Well, they could say that, oh, she was in on it and then she fell in love with Mark and was, didn't want to be part of it anymore.
That's so
that feels
cliche.
It feels way too cliche for this show.
Yeah. They even had a shot, I think it was right after that scene, of them both looking out, not with each other, but both looking out. And the director did a great job of making it look like they were looking for each other. Yeah. That's the way I took it. So, it feels like there's real love there, which is going to get really tricky because Annie Mark is in love with Helly. So that's going to be a very difficult situation.
And I wonder...
I'm not sure how that's going to work.
I wonder what happens when he's reintegrated. Do the feelings just like merge?
I guess. I would think so.
Yeah. Like, is he gonna just instantly be in love with Helena now?
Yeah,
I think he'll have those feelings. I think it's gonna be like having like the innie and the or like having the devil and angel on your shoulder. You're gonna feel both ways.
If he has both memories, it would make sense that he has both sets of feelings too. Right?
Sure. Yeah, I'm with that.
I'm just here for the moment where he finally realizes that the girl he randomly saw in the restaurant, like,
oh my God, right?
Like, I don't want to say it, but had sex with not him, which is really odd. It's just an odd situation.
Yes, but also not her had sex with not.
Yeah. Also, that went the other way around. Yeah,
Jesus,
it's so bizarre.
Watching him realize that is going to be amazing. Wow.
Helly's a real piece of shit. Okay.
I don't know if amazing is the word. It's uncomfortable.
They're both pieces. Even Helly. We got a lot of things going on. There's a lot of traumatic bullshit, but like I didn't get mine, so I need to get
right.
Jesus, Helly. Read the goddamn room.
Yeah, I feel you. All right. We got a theory on what the Cold Harbor room is. Jules, what we got?
All right, this is from Young Soldicas. What if Cold Harbor is the room where they kill any version of her and then bring her back on the outside to see if death is a trauma that can be avoided?
Okay. In one of the scenes, Drummond said, you like her. And he goes, yeah, and she likes me too, basically something like that.
She's easy to like. She's fond of me too, of course.
And then he says, when Mark completes Cold Harbor, you're going to have to say goodbye to her. What else would that mean? I mean, goodbye to Gemma because they're going to erase her. So maybe they kill the Audi, not the Innie. So that's why I brought this comment up. I'm thinking it might be the other way. They kill the Audi because he was talking about Gemma when he said he likes her. So I'm thinking it's the other way. And they're going to keep the Innie alive.
Exactly. They don't want anything to do with the
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
They're writing a book to tell Innies specifically how to live, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
like what use do they have for Audi, Gemma?
Basically, I think the ruse here is, I think what this episode, I don't know if it intentionally tried to do or what people are seeing is that they're selling them on the fact that we are going to take away your pain, right? We're going to take away your trauma. They probably have a way to do that right away, right? They can probably do that right now for you if they want to. But what they're actually doing is figuring out, like we're saying, how to actually delete your Audi. So they're offering you this bill of goods that we're going to take. Yeah, we are technically going to take away your memory of your kid because we're just going to delete you as a person. So actually, we're keeping our promise. Honestly, we're just doing it by fully deleting the entire thing and not just that one. And they're not.
That doesn't sound half bad.
That's the way I take it, man.
Throw away the whole thing.
There's a whole bunch of stuff lining up for me, I think. I'm pretty sure that we're on the right track in that Cold Harbor is going to delete Gemma, but I'm thinking maybe Irving is the first test of that. And the reason that they're doing it with Gemma is because it didn't really hold with Irving. They tried to reset him and they can kind of do it with his Innie, but his Audi is still getting memories and flashbacks and all that in painting. And then I never really thought about it, but it could be relevant. All the stuff going on with Dylan and then bringing in his wife could be like a test. Like they're testing, do you fall in love with the same person as an Innie Audi? Yeah. You know what I mean?
Which is happening, yeah.
Which is happening. So it's I feel like all of this is probably connected. Nothing in this season really. I don't think it'll end up being random. I think all of it they're putting all these pieces in place. Yeah, it's all saying the same thing.
Well said, man. I love that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hell yeah. All right, now the last one. Someone brings up some historical facts that were brought up, that were said throughout the episode, little Easter eggs. So I thought it was really cool, and I'm going to read it now. This is from CP Mao 831. So, something interesting. The name of the rooms, each one is the location of a famous historic battle. I wonder if they are trying to somehow change the history of the battle to better benefit Lumen or something. For example, Cairns was the launching point for the Battle of Coral Sea during World War II. Had the Allies lost there, Japan could have really taken over the region and it would have stretched our forces.
That's really interesting. I did not know that. I'm not a huge history buff. Maybe the whole Severance thing is so they can make like super soldiers.
I mean,
it would make sense, right?
yeah, it really
Yeah.
does. If you want to make a lot of money, you make something you can sell to the Pentagon and
That's
blank
true.
slate humans. That's a pretty good sell, dude.
Damn.
This is crazy interesting. I was literally trying to Google all the names of the doors as I was watching the episode. I was like, fuck. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it'll more have like a looser attachment to all of the real world stuff. I think it's more of an Easter egg and less of a, hey, we're trying to change history or we're trying to actually affect these places that it's named. I think it's more the idea of these are all famous historical battles. So it's probably supposed to reflect like the battle that Gemma is going through with her innie outie in the rooms, essentially.
Yeah.
Something like on those lines.
Last season, people were on, Jules pointed this out to me, that all of the files they were working on last season all had to do with body of water, a real life body of water. So maybe they just like doing that, throwing out real life stuff into the show so people can pick them out, or it means something. It could be either one.
Probably both.
Yeah, probably both.
Yeah.
Probably both. All right, that's what we got for this one. If you guys have more theories, we're making another theory video in a couple days. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out our other content, become a member, subscribe, hit that like button, all that stuff. All right, thanks guys. See you next time. Later.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
Nice reading.
Stop.
All quiet on the Western Blunt. Drug use by enlisted soldiers during World War I.